to Under the First Floor Lo-Fi Podcast, shitty recordings of bands you should like. My name's David Settle, and on today's episode we have Anna Altman from New York City. They're a two-piece indie band with a lot of slowcore influences, just drum, guitar, and vocals. They put out a tape on Exploding in Sound called Freightliner in 2017 that was really incredible, all recorded onto tape. But for today's episode, they actually just played a bunch of new songs that they have. They all sounded really great, so I'm really excited to see what they have in store for the future, and I hope you enjoy these songs. But before we get to that, I just want to remind everyone that I have started a Patreon for this podcast. It's at patreon.com/underthefirstfloor. You can select any amount of money to donate every month, and there's different rewards for each tier. You can get some mixes from me. You can make me cover some songs. You can get some mixes of some performances from the old podcast if you like that. So yeah, if you'd like to help pay for some repair costs, please feel free to check that out. I know there's a ton of really shitty stuff going on right now and way more important things to give money to, so definitely I understand if you want to check that out first, and thanks so much even just for listening. It means the world to me. So in any case, here is Anna Altman's first song. I hope you enjoy. This song is called Out From Under.
So I'm Lucia, and I play guitar and I sing.
And I'm Christian, I play drums.
Would you mind giving like a history of the band?
Well, Christian and I were playing in another band since like 2011, something like that.
Yeah.
So I've known Christian for a while, and we also went to high school together. And then after being in like this like four-piece like psych rock shoegaze band, there were definitely songs that I had written that I didn't think fit into that mold, or I just kind of like wanted to do like write my own songs and like keep them like for myself. And then like Christian was just like the best drummer that I knew. I basically just like asked him to join me, and then we started Anna Altman.
Yeah, we just started recording right away.
Oh, nice.
Like we recorded the album Freightliner.
Yeah.
Those were that was probably like the third time that I'd heard those songs.
Oh.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. It was like immediate.
Yeah. So y'all have been just doing this project for like 2 years now? 1 year?
I think it's like...
When did that tape come out?
I think it's 3 years we
Okay.
started.
Mm-hmm.
So we recorded it in like 2016.
Oh, okay. And that came out
Yeah.
in 2017.
Yeah.
Correct, yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Was it always like once you like started playing together a conscious decision that was like let's just keep it sparse and like just the two of y'all?
I think at the beginning, I just thought it was like cool to just have it as a two-piece. But I think as like more time has passed and Christian was away for a year, like studying abroad, and I was like sitting on these songs that we had written, and I was writing new songs for the next album. I guess we kind of just thought like maybe we do want to incorporate more people or more instruments and see what happens, but it's still very up in the air.
I don't care what they look like. I don't care if they saw you first. It's like tag, but with reeling over who can apply the math worse. Once again, I feel I'm needing a feeling, a massive beating in dedication. I can walk with a harness on a tightrope's petty surge. Cost a lot just to come out of a crooked walnut woodwork. There's an end I think I'm feeding. It comes back and I have no reason or explanation. Memories I felt I needed. Ugly proof with a cognizant dreaming. What occurred first in the pictures before you hung them, and yes, it stung still. No elation. Or duration. Of the dream still. It put me through hell. And sure, I guess I felt I needed validation with a constant fiending for what you liked then. And then I fell in. Once again, I feel in need of a reason, an actual because. Oh, because, well, give me hell.
Were there any like kind of musical touchstones or things you were listening to a lot when you wrote these songs, or like with the new stuff you've been writing?
I think I told Rafi, who like helped us mix and like master the Freightliner, that I wanted it to kind of sound like early Cat Power. So I was like really into that. Off the top of my head, I think that's like the only.
That was the thing, yeah.
That was like we're gonna make it like
'cause that was,
Dear
like-
Sir or something like that.
Yeah, because I think that's all recorded as like just guitar and drums and vocals as well.
Uh-huh. The next album, we've been talking about it a bunch since Christian has been back from school, I think is going to be way more produced than the previous one. It's gonna be a banger, I think. So,
Hopefully.
yeah.
Yeah, were some of the songs played today like new songs?
They all are.
They all are, okay.
Those are all the
Yeah.
next
Nice.
record.
Yeah.
And we're trying to make it like maybe a little under 20.
20 songs?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's like minutes? I think it's going to be a
Yeah.
short record.
No, yeah.
I
It's good.
think-
It might be a long record.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
It's so far I think we're at 14 tracks
Nice.
off the top of my head.
It's going to be like slowcore guided by voices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick. Of the songs you played today, is there a song that like stands out to you that you're like really proud of?
Even though I fucked it up, 90 is like my favorite one.
Oh, yeah.
And it has been like since we wrote it. I don't think it's been like a lot of the ones we wrote after are like really good too,
Mhm.
but I think it still hasn't been topped as my favorite.
I'm thinking of you. Some clock is ticking. It is slowing but never stopping. I'm just beginning. I'm out of reasons. I rely fondly on my star and great pretenses. You're so much better than any meticulous mean one. You're pretty people, so you can own that. That sounds like something that I'd be doing. 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 That sounds like something I said. 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 So we can own that.
But the first record was just the two of y'all.
Yeah.
Like, straightforward. Cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, what was like the recording process for that?
Well, all the songs were written. I wrote them all in a day. I think it was like Christian and some of our friends were renting like a space. Where was it?
In New Hampshire.
In New Hampshire, and like part of me was like really upset that I couldn't also go because like I had school and like I was like I think in like my maybe it was my last year of college. Or
I think it
something.
was, yeah.
Yeah, and like I was like just bummed that I couldn't be a part of that, so I like stayed home and wrote a bunch of songs and like forced myself to like, look at old things and try to compose a bunch of songs.
Mhm.
And then we came up with that album.
We recorded a tape actually also.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Yeah, because I had this 8-track that I had bought
Mhm.
that was pretty broken
It was
actually.
like the gnarliest thing. And you
Yeah.
and Rafi, I think, drove.
We drove to Illinois to pick it up. We bought it. Here's what we did. Okay. It was on eBay. It was a
Mhm.
listing that was called Complete Analog Studio,
Okay.
and it was
Sick.
selling for $400.
Okay.
And it was
Hint,
a
hint.
24. Yeah, it was a 24 like channel board and an 8-track and a 2-track and like all the channel snakes, and we just kept looking at this like for months like nobody's gonna buy this. This is like the worst advertised thing ever, and it was local pickup only. And at some point we were like, it's kind of a deal.
Yeah.
So we went and got it.
It's a long drive.
It was a long drive. We listened to Moby Dick on the way. Yeah.
The book or the Led Zeppelin like drum solo.
Oh, just the Led Zeppelin drum solo
Oh,
over and over. No, it was the audiobook. But yeah, and then so I brought that back, and then everything was a little bit broken. And I've since sold all that stuff.
Yeah.
But,
And
yeah.
if you listen to the album, like it just kind of warbles
Yeah.
on as you go.
I was gonna ask about that.
Yeah.
I remember like selling the cassette tape to someone, and I think they like messaged me on Facebook, and they were just wondering, like, I don't know if there's something wrong with the tape. And I was like, no, it'll sound like that on Bandcamp too.
I definitely remember the first time I heard it. I was like, "Oh, this is amazing!" And then I hear those marbles. I was like, "What's that?"
And there's like all these like weird like kind of evil noises like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think it's super cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think when we were recording at your house, like Oliver was like scratching at the door. Or something,
Yeah. I
like,
think that's still in
Christian's
there.
dog was like scratching at the door.
Assuming that's- oh,
It's
dog.
definitely in there. I think it's in.
It's like assuming that's a pet.
I think it's
Yeah.
at the end of Never,
Okay.
which I think it might be like the third track or something. But
Yeah.
it's
That's
definitely
awesome.
there.
Listen loud, listen clearer to what exactly is going on. Got a bunch, but you won't move nearer. Try to ask, but you're somewhere far. Listen loud, listen clearer. Say it again, 'cause you're a repeater. What exactly is going on? You get a trophy for acting like that. It's made of glass, but it's gilded. Bright hearts. You coming up slowly. You never catch me at the right time. You moving too quickly. You never catch me at the right time. I'll never be like you. Listen loud, listen clearer.
I really like Balloons, which I wrote maybe, I think it was like 2 weeks ago. So that one's very new.
Whoa, cool.
Yeah, and when I showed it to Christian, maybe like the second time we played it together, like I think we figured out exactly how we wanted the drums to sound. So it just like fell into place very easily. I'm excited for that one for sure.
I think that's always the best ones are the ones you don't really we haven't deliberated over,
Yeah.
like the writing of.
I bought you balloons. I drove to meet you. I played my favorite tune, you know. It's all I ever listened to. And the remorse felt like a giant bad dream. It echoed like a siren, gone, and then mine again. Remembering that I was living in your museum of things I'd rather not know, things I'd rather leave. Trying to park the car in silence. Now I'm beaming ultraviolet, and you're not the devil that you think of you to be. Here we are, elating, stimulating, still remembering that I was living in your museum of things that will astound you, things that burn to see, trying to reevaluate the gallery is too enormous to hate, not me. I'm clean, not all knowing. Still me, not all knowing.
So y'all are from New York.
Mhm.
Which part of New York?
From Long Island.
Oh, Long Island. Cool.
Yeah.
How is it like playing shows there?
Oh, I think we
Oh.
only
Or
had
just-
once.
Oh, we don't.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we played a show there maybe the first year that we were a band, and I think it was in the South Shore, somewhere random.
Do y'all just mostly play in the city though?
Yeah. Yeah.
In Brooklyn mostly.
Nice. New York always seems like a weird place to me to be a band. Just because, like, I don't know, like, even like Philly or something, like there seems to be like a scene, like people all know each other.
Yeah.
But so many New York bands, I feel like it doesn't seem like there's that much of a scene. Am
feel
I
like
that
there's,
far
like,
off or anything?
No, I don't think you're too far off. I think there's like a weird like social stratification where it's like if you're on a specific label, then you find community in that label. or with other bands that kind of sound like music on that label.
Yeah.
So then there are like different pockets of like, you know, there's like electronic groups and like indie rock or electropop or even like hip hop and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think things are a little kind of spread out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of bands in New York.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
I feel like there was really kind of a strong scene when we started
Definitely.
in Turnip King, like however long ago that was. I don't want to think about it.
Yeah.
But
I feel like that's probably when I was playing in New York a good bit. Well, that's when all like the DIY venues were going, right?
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
there was
People-
a lot of places to play, and it seemed like there was a healthy scene at
Yeah.
that point.
Like people definitely went out to shows
Yeah.
because they were where they were,
Mhm.
I guess. Like 285 Kent was a big hub.
Yeah.
And then right next door you had like Glasslands, and then right around the corner was like Death by Audio.
Got
and
to
then,
play
a couple
there like right
boxes.
towards the end of that.
Yeah,
It
it was a great
cool.
place, yeah.
Is there like any like what's the venue situation up there now? Is it still just like
There's
just bars and
the only venue I could, well, there's two, I guess,
Mhm.
and one of them I'm not that big of a fan of. But there's the Glove and there's Alphaville, are the ones that I think of.
Those
And-
are the main
Mhm.
the main ones. There used to be a Silent Barn, which is
Yeah.
where I think that was definitely my favorite venue. It was like the most accessible to me at a time that, or to us at a time that like we were already getting the ball rolling and like writing music and playing out and establishing like some sort of like fan base. I feel like Silent Barn was definitely where at least like myself like learned how to perform and like be a musician for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, I
But-
feel like there was a time when we were playing Silent Barn like every week or something.
Yeah, we
Like,
definitely played there at least like there was one time I think we played there 3 times in the week.
Yeah.
And in a month maybe like 4
Wow.
or 5.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
We-
Silent Barn is vital to Anna Altman.
Yeah, it was definitely very
Yeah.
formative.
Baby, baby, do you remember all the trees? They must have sprouted over here in the middle of the
We still are in Turnip King, which is based in New York. Other members of our band were finishing up their last year in college, so there was a little bit of a hiatus, like an unannounced hiatus. We haven't played, I think maybe like in 2 years.
Yeah.
Was like the last Turnip King show.
Yeah.
And so like whenever we're out with like other musician friends and they ask like, oh, is Turnip King still a band? I'm just like, yeah, like we recorded another album and now we're just like mixing it and getting it ready, preparing it to put it out.
Nice.
So we're doing Turnip King and we're focusing on Anna Altman.
Cool. Your first tape was put out by Exploding in Sound on the tape label. Like, how did you get like hooked up with that?
Well, Exploding in Sound was definitely one of my favorite labels. Yeah, we shipped the album to them like to see if they would want to pick it up, like sign us or something, or like just like release it. And I think Dan had gotten back to me and was like, we're not like doing anything right now. And then like a couple months later passed, and he was like, oh well, you can release it on this cassette, like the Tape Club.
Yeah.
Which was really awesome, and it definitely helped us reach out to a lot of like Exploding in Sound like fans.
Yeah.
So it was really cool, and there's like a good community within that label.
Heard him coming around. Knew he had a case of you. Think he's gonna drink it down. Write his words out loud. Pictured how his lips would spew something like piss, something so foul. I know I quit. I'm embarrassed. I spit, looking like a rat. I'm looking like that, coming off sour. I know I resist. Crush it downtown, crush it deep down. Jotting with a pencil.
Are there any like bands like in New York that you think people should know about?
I've been away, but I
Oh.
really love Eyes of Love.
Oh yeah.
Eyes of Love
So
is
good.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Palberta talked about them a little bit.
Yeah.
I would definitely say Snakeskin. They are from New York. Lead singer is Shauna. She's from Montauk, so from Long Island.
Yeah.
Now they have Angie Boylan on drums, who, you know, they used to play in Inaco.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, great drummer.
I've never heard that
Great band.
name like said out loud, so I was like,
Inaco. Oh yeah.
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 I got it.
And yeah, no, she's a really excellent songwriter and someone that we admire. They're great. They're so great.
Thanks so much to Anna Altman for coming down to the basement and playing some songs. They don't have much social media, but they are on Facebook. You can search them on that, and you can check out their Bandcamp at annaaltman.bandcamp.com. If you'd like to get in touch with me for the podcast, you can check out Twitter at UTFF Podcast, Instagram at Under the First Floor, or email us at underthefirstfloor@gmail.com. For the last couple of songs on today's show, I'm going to leave you with one slowcore song and one little happier lo-fi song. The first song is from the band Ida. It's a song called Dog Show. This is from their 1994 debut release, Tales of Brave Ida, on Simple Machines. They were a slowcore band from New York. I think still are, maybe. Wikipedia says they're still around, so I believe them. This is from their debut record that they recorded as a duo on 4-track from New York. So figured they had something in common with Anna Altman there. They would get more orchestrated as their career went on, but it's all great. Definitely check out those records if you haven't heard them yet. And for the other song, we have Bury Me Happy by the Moles. They were a band from Sydney, Australia in the early 90s. This is from their debut record, Untune the Sky, that came out in 1992 on Seaside Records. They were fronted by Richard Davies, who later formed a band called Cardinal that wrote some really cool chamber pop stuff. And he did a bunch of solo releases too. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you enjoy these last couple songs, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Good dog, here's a biscuit. Don't bite, you don't need it. Your silky hair and tender body, posing up there, you beg so nicely. Half gone from deprivation, not a magic wand, elimination, but good dog, now you did it, didn't bite that dangling biscuit. It's a you-win situation and a form of degradation. You're half gone from deprivation, not a magic wand, elimination, elimination.
Here comes the walking waistcoat. He creates his own smoky corner. Wish I had